One Cuban cigar, one Cuban, and I almost killed him. Stay tuned. There's a story behind this Cuban. So I was asked by my dispatcher the other day when I was in Charlotte. That's why I named this the one Cuban cigar, one Cuban, and I almost killed him. So the dispatcher asked, am I up for an adventure in Kangaroo Trucker channel? Adventures of Kangaroo Trucker, yeah, I'm up for an adventure. So he asked me to go down and pick up this Cuban guy that was a driver, and he went on vacation. He went to Cuba for a few weeks and came back. He needs to ride back to the headquarters where his truck is. Yeah, that's fine. They paid me some extra for it. All right, cool, I'll do it. Well, so I went down, picked him up. Even the dispatcher said he's kind of a quiet guy. Well, it's because he doesn't know a lot of English. He's only been here in the United States for 5 years. Nice guy though. And so I went and picked him up, and he must not have understood what I said after I picked him up. I said, we'll go to sleep, and then in 10 hours I can drive some more, but I'm almost out of hours, so he can drive. So I go back to go to sleep, and he gets up and starts driving. All right, I guess he wanted to drive. So he drove most of the night, and I tried to sleep back there, and that's not easy. Those people who do team, it must take a while to get used to trying to sleep while the truck's moving, because my mud flap only sat in the front seat for like an hour and a half. Then I had to go strap it with my bungee cord to the back on the catwalk, and that was making all kinds of noise during this route. But anyway, so he's back here sleeping when it was my turn to drive, and about midnight, 12:30 in the morning, I got up and I pop open the curtains, and the truck's sitting here, and I look outside. We're at a pilot. I can see we're at a pilot, but it's really dark and it's snowing, like sleet. I said, but we're not in a parking spot. And I get out the entrance to the pilot. We're parked at the entrance to the pilot, so we're not actually in the pilot yet. The whole lot was full. So yeah, at 12 o'clock at night, places are gonna be full. So I got out and walked around the truck, did my pre-trip, and we were parked over by the shop by a container. But where he put us was really pretty good. So I got in and drove us out of there and hit the road. And so we're going. And it's dark. It was about 2 in the morning. It's raining, so visibility's terrible. I'm going up a hill. I'm passing a truck, Expo Logistics, and I started past it pretty good. And then we kind of started stalling, so his weight and my weight must have settled in, and it just kept me from. I got about 80% past him. And then I realized it says weigh station, and a big light says open. I'm like, oh shoot, there's a weigh station here. So I missed the signs before because I was fidgeting around. I was distracted, trying to find, when you're driving and it's dark out, trying to find this little lip where the coffee comes out. Sometimes a challenge. Well, I'm trying to find the hole, and I couldn't feel it with my lip, and I missed all the other signs, because they usually give you a sign to the weigh station 2 miles, at least 1 mile before the weigh station comes up. And I've been trying to pass him most of that, so I missed all those signs. By the time I saw the sign, I could see one light. And here's the trick when you're driving, and you experienced truckers know this. If you can see both lights in your sight side mirror, or your passenger side flat mirror, then you're far enough ahead, you can pull over. Well, I could only see one, so I knew I wasn't quite far enough ahead. I was probably going to be cutting him off. I didn't want to cut him off. I had my indicator on, my turn signal on, and the guy knew I was coming up on trying to get off there. But he obviously wanted to hold his ground for whatever reason. Now, let me give you this much. It was my fault that I created this hazardous situation. But it only became a hazardous situation because the driver decided he's going to hold his ground and not let me in. When smart part of the Smith training is you want to separate yourself from any hazards. So you want to give lots of room. Well, he was going to have to slow down getting into the off-ramp to the weigh station. But apparently he didn't want to slow down. So I had to make a choice. I had a split-second decision to make a choice because at the time that I saw the situation going on, I had about 1,200 feet. 1,200 feet. And you drive 60 to 65 miles an hour is around 88 to 100 feet per second. So stuff happens really quick out here. And this decision had to be made. I was either I was just going to go, well, I guess I can't get in the station, so I'll just keep going. But I didn't want to do that because I could get a ticket for that. 2, I could slow down, but I just felt I couldn't really assess the traffic situation and was I going to cause more of a problem letting him go by and then getting behind him and wondering if the guy next to him's going to let me in, slowing down. So I said, no, I'm just going to go pull over in here and he's going to have to deal with it. So he considered me cutting himself off when all he had to do was slow down to let me in. But, you know, I should not have put that situation on him. Well, then he decides, now that we're going on and I cut him off, oh, hell no. As I'm slowing down to the required 40 miles per hour minimum going through this weigh station. It's a long off-ramp. He passes me on the emergency side road of the weigh station off-ramp. Gets in front of me, stops the trailer, stops he and I right there on the off-ramp. But he decides it's more important. Apparently security, safety is out the window. He's gonna stop so he can come and have a little talk with me. So he comes out and I roll my window down. I said, dude, I'm sorry. I wanted to say, why didn't you slow down and just let me over? This is not a big deal. You knew I needed to get over. But I could tell by his demeanor, he was pretty upset. He handled himself professionally, I will say that. But I'm looking at my side mirror now after he talked to me for a few minutes and he went back and he's going to walk his truck to make sure, because I don't even know if I hit any part of you or not. I said, you didn't. I would have known that. But he was behind me. He should know if he hit my trailer, which he didn't. Meanwhile, we're stacking up. We've stopped an open weigh station. And even though it's 2 in the morning, it still has traffic. Trucks are running all night. So, and some of the trucks decided to start passing us in the emergency lane. I'm like, this guy, his ego, his testosterone, or something got the better of him. He did not make a safe decision. I was a hazard, and I should not have done what I did. And the best thing I could do to learn from that is, I should have probably, in hindsight, I should have slowed down. If I didn't see it until then, I should have slowed down and just gotten over. But I was 80% of the way past him. It really was unfortunate the way that it all played out. You know, he thought he was going to take his truck into the ditch with all that happened. I'm like, why don't you just slow down, man? I mean, I was almost in front of you. I was way more ahead of you than you needed to be behind me. So we finally got through that, and then I pull up to the Philadelphia yard, and then he gets up, and I said, I almost killed you. And his English, you almost killed me? I said, yeah. I said, going to a weigh station. I said, we almost had a wreck. You almost killed me? He kept saying, you almost killed me? I said, It's okay, it's okay. I didn't almost kill you. I go, well, it could have been bad, but everything's okay. You almost killed me? No, you're okay, everything's good. I don't think he understood my English. But anyway, so he gave me a real Cuban cigar, which I'll smoke later. I'm heading to Atlanta. So the Cuban guy survived, the cigar survived, and I survived. So everything's all good. But it was in a heartbeat, things can go wrong out here, and the experienced drivers know this. And we're getting into the winter season and stuff, so it's just you just don't know what's going to come up around the corner, and it's definitely on the back of my mind. You know, with a little situation like that, just being distracted by a coffee cup allowed me the opportunity to put myself in a situation where I became a hazard of being in the way of this other truck driver. So it was my fault, but he could have handled that differently too. I mean, at the end of the day, well, just today, I was going up the road, weigh station was coming up, XPO Logistics was ahead of me, wanted to get in front of me, and without even thinking, I backed off and let him over, and he got off. So I almost recreated the situation identical, except for the fact that it wasn't bad weather. And it was just the right thing to do. I mean, treat people the way you want to be treated. I don't know why that's that hard to do. I mean, there was no reason for him to stand his ground. I guess prove me wrong, but what was that really going to do? So anyway, just be careful out there. Watch out for if you ever see a driver driving and they're having a hard time finding where to drink the coffee out of, they're distracted. So you guys take care. Bye.